Hello, everyone. It's Fossil.
And it's Spawn.
How is your week going?
All right, enough of that. It's all about me now.
It's all about me.
Me, I.
Just be prepared that there's a lot of things with Mars going on right now. So be prepared, if you will, for tempers running high.
I would explain
tension.
that a little better.
The planetary alignments, people. Snap, snap. Get with it. Watch your tempers. Okay? All the way up until July 1st. Just be aware. Just be aware. Mama Fossil's telling you. There's a lot going on.
Like, thanks for the warning one day before. But if you noticed that you were having some tensions at work, per se, or some issues with friends, maybe, right? Anything
Absolutely.
Like that?
Absolutely.
Anything that's going to make you agitated.
Mars has an aggressive, it's a powerful planet. It's going to rule your strength, your fire, your energy. So just be prepared. You don't have to believe in it, but if you happen to notice, I'm right.
Well, and if you're watching this or listening to this when it's too late, just reflect. Was that true for you?
Usually is. That's why I started believing in it. I started all of this trying to disprove.
Here she goes, guys.
And ended up proving.
Here she goes.
So, all right.
Here she goes.
Be that as it may.
Here she goes.
Like starting a lawnmower. Just for that, I'm not telling you anymore.
No.
Figure it out on your own.
That's not what I'm saying.
Fly solo, babies.
We know you're spiritual. Be free. I was reflecting the other day, now that COVID is kind of winding down, knock on wood, if we don't worry about this next variant. Let's pretend that COVID is winding down, even though it's probably not. All right? Just humor me for a second. I was thinking about travel, right? And going places and enjoying traveling again. And then I realized, which I've known about myself for a while, but that I hate living out of a suitcase.
Yeah.
I love having all of my stuff in the place that it belongs, and I don't like not being able to have some of my stuff. I don't like choosing what stuffs I can have.
You know what's interesting about that? I bet you would like RV travel.
Why?
Because you could have all your stuff. You could have all your stuff and your dishes and your food and your bed with you.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I wouldn't like it.
Really?
Well, not for long periods of time.
Well, nobody wants long periods of time.
I feel like after 3 days, I'd be pretty fed up with it.
I don't know. You know what? I don't think so. I think
Really?
an RV would be a better way to travel. I wouldn't want to have to empty the toilet thing. I wouldn't want to do that.
Because I was also thinking, like, sleepovers. As I've gotten older, I'm always just like, nah, I'd rather go home. You know what I mean? Like, it gets to the end of the night, y'all are winding down, like, you and your girls had, like, a great night, it was so much fun, and I'm just like, alright, I'll see y'all next time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to pack an overnight bag and stay there.
Yeah, using someone else's bathroom to me is the epitome of invasive and weird.
Well, just like, I like to shower before I go to bed sometimes. And again, like, obviously if you're close friends with them, it's like not that weird. But I don't know, there's just something about it where it's like at the end of the night, I just want to go home. I want to take off my jewelry, get in my clean jammies, wash my face, use all my skincare. And you can hypothetically do that at sleepovers, but it's not the same.
I haven't had a sleepover in a bazillion years.
But that's why I said travel, because that would be more applicable to you.
But even but that doesn't really convey the same meaning, because traveling we're talking about a hotel room where I can do that. Somebody else's bed and somebody else's bathroom, but nothing is stopping me from doing what I want.
Well, I mean, I guess technically nothing's stopping me from doing that at my friend's house.
Except judgment and somebody saying, "Where are you? What are you doing? Why are you in the bathroom?" No?
I don't know if it would be weird like that. I'm always just like, if I had the option to go home, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, hi guys, had a good one. I'll even go back in the morning.
Right.
Like, I just don't want to actually have to, like, pack all my shit.
Right.
Because then that's another thing. Like, unpacking, I'm the type of person who unpacks immediately when I get home, usually. Unless it's, like, I don't feel well or something, right? But when I get home from a sleepover or from a visit or, you know, traveling, I usually unpack that instantly, put everything away.
Right.
Put my laundry in the basket.
Discipline.
Well, it's not discipline. It's just
it really
like,
is.
I want my stuff back in its place. I don't want to live. I hate living out of a bag.
Right. I agree. Everything has a place and everything needs to be in order.
Except when I'm on vacation. This is another weird thing. I don't know. You definitely don't do this. When I'm on vacation and you have a hotel room with like a closet and like drawers, my boyfriend's the type of person who will like take all of his stuff out and like put it in the drawers and put it on the dresser. I don't do that. I live out of my suitcase when I travel.
It depends on the hotel room.
I don't want to like have to find my shit. And
no,
like...
see, when I went to the RWA conference in New York, I did it. The hotel was really nice. When Daddy and I would travel, and he picked those nice little 1-star hotels because why? We're not even going to be in the room very much.
God.
I would not put them in those drawers. But it depends on the hotel.
Oh, I'm like any hotel. Like any hotel. Because the thing is there's a chance by doing that increases my chance of forgetting something or losing something.
Yeah.
Whereas if I just kept it in the bag, it's going to be in there somewhere.
But I don't tend to bring anything with me that I can't replace.
No, but I don't want to replace it. That's expensive.
Poverty mindset?
Yeah, maybe.
It's good to not want to lose things, but when it's a crippling effect of I can't lose it, that's a problem.
No, we should talk about this because you clock me on poverty mindset all the time.
It's expecting that poor is something you have to be, and
it's clinging on to money for the fear of not being able to replace it.
Yes. Or just assuming that you can't make more money.
Yeah.
That there will never be enough. Even if you grew up poor or lacking, does not mean that you will be lacking for the rest of your life. And to think that that is the way it has to be and always will be is poverty mindset. And there are ways to break out of that. Without going into a big, long, drawn-out class on how to be rid of it, the simplest thing is to make a plan. Let's say something as simple as investing in yourself. And let's say you want to do a job that you don't have necessarily the classes or the education for, and you need to take the classes. You have to find a way. You find a way, whether it's get a loan, you find a way with whether it's getting some type of financial aid. You take the class, and yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's going to be, rough for a little while, but it's all temporary. And eventually you will make more money and you invest in yourself. So it's like releasing some money in order to make more money. And it starts off with the smallest amounts. We're not talking, everybody is watching celebrities thinking they have to make millions and billions of dollars, and the average person is not going to do that. So first of all, if you see yourself as a failure because you're not making millions and trillions of dollars, that's a different problem. First, you ask yourself, what is enough money? You have a talk with yourself and ask yourself, what is enough money? What amount would make you feel comfortable? And don't be a jackass and go $1 billion, because that's not the average. Mm-hmm. That's just not realistic. But you say, this year I want to make $50,000. This year I want to make $100,000, whatever that is. And every year you will grow. You will grow if you invest your time and your effort in yourself. And the poverty mindset saying, doesn't matter, I'm not going to go anywhere, I'm stupid, I'll never go back to class, I'm not good in school, all of that's wrong.
I wasn't even necessarily, because I think that's like the extreme version of like poverty mindset, but like you clock me on the way where I'll have the money to do something and I'll choose not to for fear of not being able to get that money back on like little things.
What proof do you have that you won't make it back? Your life is just starting out and you will get a job eventually.
When you say will get a job eventually, you mean like a full-time adult people job.
That's a good way of putting it.
Because I wouldn't say a job, because like passive income from doing very, like, the little things I do is, like, obviously not what we're referring to.
But it should be. But that's okay. See, it should be. The concept of having only one job seems to be dying.
Yeah.
The days of my generation started to see it, where our parents told us, you will have a job for the next 30 years and you'll, retire out of that. Those days were gone by the time I started working. Mm-hmm. So now, it was normal for the last 20 some years for people to only stay at a job for 3 years. And it's like, here your parents have been telling you forever that you should be retiring from a job to be successful after 25 years. My generation saw it. If you weren't changing your job and elevating yourself every 3 to 5 years, you were stagnating. Mm-hmm. Your generation is looking at a whole new environment of careers, and it's everyone almost has to be an entrepreneur, and you have to have more than one financial income.
I saw a video today, actually, where this guy was talking about how if he had stayed at the same company, he would have shot himself in the foot by not allowing himself to get more money. So basically he was doing this thing where every 1.5, 2 years he would switch to a different company. And so he went from making $35K starting salary to making $130 in
that's absolutely
7 years.
But he also understood his strengths. He also understood his value.
Clearly he was smart. Clearly.
But you don't have to be smart to use that strategy.
No, of course, yeah. But I think that's something not that I didn't know, but just that I never necessarily really thought about in detail. Because in my mind, with the career I want to go into, I thought it would be you have to work your way up the ladder. So to leave a company that quickly seemed like a big no-no in my mind. And maybe it is for what I'm going into.
If you feel very quickly you've learned all you can in the environment you're in, it makes sense to leave.
Absolutely.
You really have to think about how you're going to leapfrog if you're going to do that. Because I also would question, did this person that you're discussing, did he have an apartment that he was signing a lease for? Did he live with mom and dad? I mean, how was he living that he could hopscotch around like that? Because most leases, you have to be somewhere, you have to sign a year lease. So it's not, and it sounds to me like if you're going to jump jobs like that you're doing it in the middle of a year. So how would that work? I have questions.
I mean, my only thing would be if you're going from making $35K a year to making $55,000 a year, you'd probably just be like, all right, I'm going to break my lease.
Not if you have to owe $10,000 in for the rest of the year.
I think it depends. But also, who's to say that they're not all in the same area? A lot of these were tech companies.
Sure.
So he's probably either in New York or LA. Not necessarily, but that's what I would assume.
If you can make it work, play the game, for sure. But money, to me, it's just energy. It's not a value on yourself. It doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't make you a lesser person if you don't have it. It's just energy. Mm-hmm. Let it go out into the world. Serve its purpose.
Yeah, you're very much the person where you're like, I'm going to spend it because I know I can get it
to a point.
Obviously, you're not emptying your wallet.
You have a reserve, if you will. You have a safety net, and then the rest, you have to keep it going. It's not helping anybody.
Yeah, but even when we don't necessarily have a lot of money, you'll be like, we want this, and it's good for us, therefore I'm going to get it because...
And it's good for other people.
Yeah,
exactly. Eating out, when you eat out, even though, let's say, you splurge once a month, and maybe money's tight, and if you're tipping, and I'm saying this because you're tipping, not because you're buying the food, those people are paid, mm-hmm. But if you have a wait staff, somebody serving you, you want to tip them really well because they're working really hard. I mean, they're getting less money, so it only helps them for you have a relaxing night out, or hopefully.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully. And they're getting a good tip. So
that's
just good juju. I'm sorry.
Fun fact about Fossil. You hear that alliteration? Fun fact about Fossil. She's a huge tipper. I probably shouldn't say that because... I'm
not like Johnny Depp or
no,
anything.
I mean...
It's not like $7,000, but...
People's definitions might,
But if you go to freaking IHOP, which your meal is going to come to $14, I will give 100% tip. I will leave it $28. It's $28. You could have spent that in one meal at any other restaurant. And I'm like, this kid is working 2 jobs, is going to school. It's $14. If I'm hurting over $14 at my age, I need to reevaluate my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not a brag thing. That's a look at who's around you and let the energy go.
I respect it, because that's the difference between you and I. Like, I tip, obviously, well, like, 20%, but that's pretty, like, standard, But you always, like...
Depends on the meal. I'm not going to do that with a $200 meal, but we very rarely have $200 meals.
I mean, there have been times where we've had, like, a $55 meal, and you'll round it up.
Yeah,
to a decent
it depends on how good the service is. I mean, you can eyeball the person who's
one time we had shit food. We had horrible food. And I was like, this tastes yucky. And literally you were like, nah, I'll leave a nice tip.
You know why? Because I remember that was the chef's problem and the kitchen problem. It wasn't the server's issue. The server was embarrassed. The server was doing their best. Why am I going to take it out on the server? Because the chef and the manager has a problem. There's 3 different people. It's 3 different thoughts, 3 different ideas in 3 different places. I can't screw the server because there's a jackass in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Well, that's the problem my boyfriend has a lot of times. He recently became a waiter in the past couple of months. Their new chefs are horrible. And so he gets a lot of people saying like, this doesn't taste good. And even sometimes he's like, I don't want to be serving this because
they take it out on
bad.
They take it out on the wrong
person. And then
person.
he's sitting there like embarrassed because there's not really much he can do about that other than like yell at them. But then you don't want to have like a bad rapport with the chefs, obviously. Yeah, and so it really not good because he's not doing anything wrong, but it's coming out of his pay at the end of the day.
We're very sensitive to how hard we have to work to make $1.
Yeah.
And you should be.
Yeah.
So when you go out to relax and have a meal, you still have to remember that you're dealing with human beings. And those human beings have good days and bad days, just like everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, if you're rude,
If you're rude, I'm taking you out. If you're rude, I'm taking you out. Yeah, there's nothing worse than a rude serving person.
Oh my God. I keep saying my boyfriend, I'm so sorry, but he got bullied the other day by a table of kids.
No.
Yeah, so apparently he was telling me this story where like 20 people came in, like a party of 20.
Wow.
And so him and his other coworker were like kind of both helping the table, yeah. And so one side was all parents and the other side was all their kids. But the kids were at that weird age where they're not like 8-year-olds. They're probably like
12.
11 or 12. Like they're like just straight assholes. They're just at
12-year-olds are all dicks.
And they were just being so mean to him, just like straight bullying him. And then at first I was like, what did you do? And then I realized like he was like, no, they're like 12. And I was like, oh, so they were just straight messing with him.
They were trying that on.
Yeah.
Trying on their power.
And then they were doing it to the waitress who was helping him as well, his coworker.
She probably wasn't having it.
Well, I know. Well, he apparently said something to them like, you guys need to stop because I'm trying to get your parents out of here and they want to have a nice night and you guys are ruining it. And I was like, that was bold. That was bold of him to say.
He Papa Smurf them.
Yeah. I mean, they were at the end of the table like, what are their parents gonna do? Don't talk to my shitty son like that. Dylan didn't do anything wrong.
And then they pull you aside and give you $10 to do it again.
Yeah, literally.
Reprimand my shitty kid. I want another glass of wine. Bring me another Pinot while you're at it.
Yeah. I think he also got hit on by one of the parents. One of like the dads. And so I was like, maybe his son was just mad. To be honest. You know what I mean? My dad is flirting with you.
Oh.
I hate you.
Good for TT. He's getting some action. Go, TT.
Oh, God. He's like, hey, thanks, man.
Hey. You know you're good looking.
It's the eyes.
He does have beautiful eyes. Ben Whishaw eyes, if any of you know who that is. Look him up, Ben Whishaw. Great actor.
Do they have similar eyes?
Yes.
Really?
The same color.
Same color?
Yes.
I know, but aren't Are Ben's a little darker or Christian's
No.
a little darker?
Nope.
Same?
Yep. Yes. I've looked into
Okay, so
both.
just green.
Takes your breath away, that green.
Are you macking on my boyfriend right now?
Not even close.
I'm joking.
You can appreciate the beauty of someone's, eyes without being weird.
Absolutely.
Stop making it weird, Emily.
You and I have poo-poo eyes.
Hershey Kisses.
No, we got poo-poo eyes.
You have daddy's chocolate brown eyes.
Oh my god. See, mom tries to make everything so, like, what's the word? Just, like, special. Just sweet and
Hershey
special.
Kisses. Hershey Kisses.
You're like,
eyes.
oh, they're just dark chocolate. No, they're fucking brown. They're poo-poo caca brown.
Not poo-poo caca. Anyway, love your eyes.
It's okay. I still rock them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if anyone gets offended by that, brown eyes are cool. Just,
Yeah.
I was making fun of myself. Don't let that get to you, necessarily. Your poo-poo caca eyes are perfectly fine.
That's right.
Embrace them.
And stop calling him poo-poo caca. First of all, the description, really?
Just saying. All right, guys. So I have kind of a funny story. Not even a funny story, more of an unfortunate story. It's like uncomfortably funny, I guess.
A dark comedy, if you will.
A dark comedy. So basically, a few weeks ago, actually the week that we missed an episode, I got sick and I lost my voice and everything, and it was a whole thing. I didn't feel well. That weekend, I was supposed to see one of my close friends, but I had to text her and say, hey, I'm not feeling well. With, the pandemic, this probably just isn't smart. We were only going to go for a walk, but still, I was like, I don't really want to get you sick or have you lose your voice.
I take it this was before you got your shots.
No, this was after.
Okay.
This was after I got my shot. Because also, even if it was just a cold, you don't want them getting sick in general.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, we should start normalizing that. If you're sick, like, don't
We
go
forget
out.
There's other things still out there.
No, it was literally just a cold, but, like, whatever. And then, so she texted me and she was like, okay, so I'm just going to actually text you this because there was something I wanted to tell you. And she was like, I hate to text it, but if too much time passes, it's just no longer really it's just going to be kind of weird, right? And so I was like, OMG, I'm so excited. And she said, oh my God, like, I'm laughing so hard. Emily, no. And I was like, why? Like, you can voice memo it if you don't want to type, like, what's going on, sort of thing. And then she was like, my dad has cancer.
Oh.
Which was super fucking awkward because I thought Little Miss was going to serve me a big, hot, steaming pile of tea. And no.
She did, but it was
Well,
the wrong tea.
I don't know about that. How did she word it that gave it away? She said, okay, so I'm going to tell you something that I was going to tell you today, and I hate to text it, but I don't want too much time to pass and it get weird. And I don't know why in my brain, this is why I watch too many drama channels. Like, this is how you can see that instantly my brain went to, this is going to be drama. This is going to be...
It's not Love Island, Emily.
I know. I don't know why in my brain
hometown.
I just, like, wasn't expecting anything negative.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. I felt so bad, though. I straight up...
He'll be okay.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, it was just, like, super...
Cancer can't have him.
No, he's a strong guy for sure. But, super awkward.
Yeah. Oopsie.
I mean, everyone laughed about it, so it was fine. She told her
that's
dad,
just
so.
Emily.
Oh, that's just Emily not really reading the fucking room. Awkward.
Speaking, talking about...
What just came out of your mouth? What did you just do? Did you just forget your train of thought? Just...
No.
What was that?
My mouth wasn't working with my brain.
Strong.
Yeah, something like that. But going off of that awkwardness, we started talking about this, I believe, in the last episode about greetings.
Mm-hmm. Oh
and
my God.
There was more to that. There's always more to that, isn't there?
So something else that I was thinking about this week, other than sleepovers and traveling and all that kind of stuff, was I've been seeing a lot of people out and about that I like recognize from high school and stuff, but we were not necessarily close, you know? There's a few people that I see that I was friends with, and obviously, like, you say hi to your friends. But, like, you know that guy that you sat next to in math class for, like, a year, and then you see him randomly one day, and you're like, do we acknowledge each other? You know what I mean? I've been having that happen so often lately, and I'm the type of person, this is bad, this is all on me, so sorry that I'm kind of a bitch, but I will literally make eye contact with someone, right, from high school, and I will act like they're not there.
That's not being a bitch unless you're doing it on purpose to piss them off.
No.
That's actually an insecurity.
I know, I'm aware.
Okay, well, you just called yourself a bitch.
Well, because it's one of those things, okay, here's the thing. It's one of those vibes where it's like, I don't see us as close, and I know you don't see us as close. And if they don't say hi first, I'm kind of like, why would I acknowledge them? But then I have friends who, whenever they see anyone they recognize, they're like, oh my God, hi, how are you? You know, and I'm just like not like that. And I think you're kind of like that too, where if you see someone you recognize, you'll like a wave or whatever. And I don't know if it's just because I've been in the North too long or what it is. I will see it's always at the gym too. I will see someone I know, might have even had conversations with, like multiple conversations with, and I won't acknowledge them.
Okay, so I want to address something though. Mm-hmm. Psychologically here though. I am not a gym rat, clearly.
Right. Well, I haven't been lately either.
But if you're going to the gym and you're paying money to go to the gym, you're there to get in a frame of mind.
Right.
You're not there to socialize. Am I wrong?
Well, it depends on who you ask, because a lot of people go to the gym for the social aspect of it, and a lot of people don't.
But don't you have to get in a certain headspace to work out? And maybe you're that person. Tell me if I'm wrong. Are you that kind of person that just wants to be left alone?
I am.
Okay. So there's your answer.
Well, not necessarily. I think it depends. I don't want to talk to people I'm not comfortable with. Like, I had a friend from high school approach me the other day at the gym, and I was, like, really excited to see her. And she approached me, and it was great. Like, I was like, oh, my God, you know, it's great seeing you. But then you see, you know, those awkward people where it's like, I should say hi, but I'm not going to.
Honestly, you know, if you can give the half nod, at least an acknowledgement without engaging in it. I mean,
should I start going like this? Just sup,
right? Honestly,
should I start doing that?
Isn't that what that whole head backward nod, that sup, is about?
Oh my God, just go full like straight.
I'm not
straight boy.
ignoring you, but I do have like, something to do. You know, you don't owe anyone anything in your time.
Yeah.
You really don't. I mean, it almost sounds rude, but if you're not going out of your way to be rude, there's nothing wrong to say, I am here for a reason. I just want to get this done and get out of here.
I mean, my thing is always with them, like, if they don't say hi first, then, like, why do I feel bad for not saying hi? You know what I mean? But I've just noticed it within myself where if I see someone out in public that I know, I will, like, avoid them.
That's a serious insecurity.
Oh, damn. Okay.
You're almost in hiding.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you hide?
Maybe because I don't feel well right now.
Well, that's okay, but that's a valid reason. That's not insecurity. That's like, I feel like shit and I don't want to talk to anybody.
I mean, I think it's a lot of things, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Our podcasts have been straining slightly lately because
Emily's therapy.
I'm telling you guys, when Spawn hits her stride, it's going to be hilarious. But lately it's pushing a wet noodle up a hill. She does not feel well at all. We're working on it. Yeah. And we will do an entire podcast because I know there's people out there struggling. Yeah, there's a lot here. We're figuring things out on our own as well.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I keep repeating myself, so I'm sorry. Like, maybe take some of this out. But just in that way where you don't know how close they deem you are. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I'm a big believer in equal relationships, in the way where I don't want to bother you more than you bother me. You know what I mean?
You are consistent. You do it with social media. You do it with texting. You do it with everything. You know what?
Yeah.
That's just the way you're wired, and we're gonna accept that about you, Spawn. That is just it's tit for tat.
If someone
I
doesn't,
said tit.
You did say tit.
It's tit for tat.
You did say tit for tat. I don't know. I just don't. But this will be someone like I follow on social media, like, you know, I like your photos, you like my photos, whatever, and I will still not say hi to you at the gym. And I'm so sorry. Unless you like that.
You know what? You don't know how many other people feel the same way you do and are relieved that they didn't have to engage.
That's what I'm hoping, because most of the time, this is like 25, 30 different people I'm thinking about right now. Because the thing about the gym I go to, it's just my town's high school, just crammed into one.
I have an answer for this.
Huh.
I think that we should all wear red or green buttons. So red means don't fucking talk to me,
okay.
and green means I'm open for convo.
First of all, that's weird for a gym fit.
Why? Little green button on your
oh, you meant
little
like
green
a pin.
little green pin or something.
Oh, okay.
Little green or red pin. One's like don't fucking talk to me, and the other one's like, hey, I'm up for
you know what?
For discussion.
If I'm wearing a hoodie, chances are don't fucking talk to me. I think that's kind of like the consensus. And there's like gym etiquette and gym norms. Like
in 90-degree weather, you're gonna wear a hoodie.
Sometimes I used to. Do you not remember? I used to go to the gym in like a shirt, a hoodie,
it was
and
called
leggings.
Anemia. You were cold all the time.
Oh, I was sweating profusely at the gym.
At the gym, you were.
I'm losing fat because I'm sweating so much.
Good Lord.
That I'm just getting so fit because I'm sweating. And when I sweat, I just shred the fat. Fucking newsflash, loser, you're going to pass out.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah.
And 85 degrees. No, they have some good ass air conditioning, actually. Shit hits.
So you get sweaty and then you dry off.
Okay, actually, this is something I want to talk about. Guys, lately I've been having this issue. So I've recently made the discovery that those insertable like bra pads, the bra thingies, you know what I'm talking about, the padding?
Yeah, I do.
In sports bras, suck dirty asshole. And the thing is, I used to always wear them just because they come like that. So I'd wear them.
You assume.
And then I'd wash them and whatever, you know. And then
they always come out.
Yeah, they always come out in the wash.
They never go back in, right?
They look gnarled. It's just, you know what I mean? And then you're just like shoving them back in there aggressively. And then they just look square.
And wrinkled.
And then you just have a crease on your tit. And you're like, this looks like a scar. It's just really awkward. Anyways, so I started taking them out. But with that, I've had some major consequences. Now, my titties are unruly. My nipples go wild. Okay? When I work out, specifically when I'm squatting for some reason, my nipples get rock solid. Okay?
Well, that's blood flow.
Or it's like the bra's rubbing against it.
Yeah, that's just friction. That's, you know, we're always ashamed of our bodies. It's a normal reaction. The problem is that horn dog guys are going to see it, and that's the problem. It's not getting hard nipples.
No,
that's the issue. It's the reaction from the immature males of the species.
You say the immature males, it's not them. It's
always,
the
mature males.
It's always
the creepy
the dying old man on the fucking
he's just
elliptical.
happy to see titties.
That's fair.
He's just probably happy to see titties. He hasn't seen them in so long.
No, that's fair. We'll give it to Harold.
Or, Harold Walter, whatever.
Walter. No, Walter's a better one.
Yeah.
But, oh my God.
Theodore.
No, stop. I love that name. I love that name. Theo. So cute. Anyways.
You know that's a chipmunk, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your point?
Okay.
Okay. Yep. There we
go.
No.
Christmas time is here. Time for toys.
Anyway, so my rock hard nipples be getting in the way sometimes. I want to know if that's like a normal thing. I see a lot of influencers, they're like, I've seen this everywhere. They're like, take the padding out at socks. And then it's
Had
like
socks?
No. I said it socks.
Oh, it sounded like said. I thought you said add socks. I'm like, what in the hell are we doing here?
No,
1970s.
I mean, you can add socks, I guess.
Socks.
It's kind of lumpy, but yeah, I go to the gym and then I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna fake my camel toe.
What?
Obnoxious things to do at the gym. Let's fake camel toe.
Imagine if I had a camel toe and hard nipples.
Stick socks in your crotch area. Keep them guessing, man. Keep them guessing. They won't know where to look. There's your strategy. You're welcome.
I don't think anyone's looking though.
I just gave you a whole ass answer on how to handle the gym problem.
That's another thing. That's such a normal thing where everyone thinks like everyone's looking at you in the gym.
No one is.
And not that no one is, because that's also a lie. No one's looking at you. Yeah, they are. You're wearing light blue leggings. Like, I want to know what brand they are. You know what I mean? I am looking at you. However, it's not as intense as you would think. And I am really bad at this. Like, I constantly think, like, I get overwhelmed. You know what I mean? When there's, like, a lot of people. I'm like, they're in my space. There's people around me. Especially with COVID. I'm like, get away from me. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, no, literally. Like, someone's using the squat rack right next to me. I'm like, no! Get away!
Squat somewhere else, loser.
Pick the 300-pound thing up and move it! Yeah, I don't feel like people actually put that much thought into it. I do, because I'm insane. But I think normal people probably don't.
Stop saying you're insane.
I do, because I'm skeptical. I'm like, oh, she's wearing a white shirt today. She always wears the yellow one. I think things like that. However, the majority of people probably aren't.
Yeah, the majority of people probably could not tell you who was around them.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true, though. If you see the same people every single day, you start to be like, oh, that's that guy. I don't know his name, but he's here.
The no-neck.
Yeah.
Green shirt.
Yeah.
No sleeves.
Mm-hmm. No, I have nicknames for all of them.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's the fun thing. That's the fun thing to do,
well,
right?
Christian and I used to have names for all of them, and then he stopped going to that gym because he went back to school.
Because he's too busy being bullied by 12-year-olds.
Stop! Yeah. And then I would just go by myself. I'd be like, you remember that guy from like 6 months ago? Called him white shirt. I think he's preparing for a competition.
Roiding out.
He looks bigger.
His head.
He got his bench up.
I pick things up, I put them down.
It was pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. You know?
That he can pick his head up?
Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes you're like, what the fuck is that? I should not be talking. I'm a fucking 6 foot tall
If you can
Lego
gain
girl.
that kind of muscle without using steroids, it is impressive.
Not necessarily possible.
I don't know. I've never
It would
wanted
take
to try.
Years and years. The amount of mass that you have to put on, you cannot do that.
It can't be sustainable.
No,
it cannot.
It's not. But even steroids aren't sustainable. You have to go through cycles.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, not to make this about the gym. I miss her, though. She's just a distant memory. Mom won't let me go to the gym until I feel better.
What a horrible mother I am.
Ew!
I am the worst.
You don't want me to put extra stress on my body.
The worst. Having you right now is like having an infant in the house.
I know.
It really is. There's always something that needs to get cleaned out. It used to be bottles, and now it's juicing machines.
Stop. You make me sound like I literally don't do anything for myself.
That right now you can't really do
food-wise,
anything
yeah,
for yourself, and that it's a lot.
I just have this really awkward thing. I be overthinking these hellos. Okay, I really do.
You overthink most things.
I know.
And that's the way you're wired.
Oh.
But I think it helps other people to hear what goes on in other people's heads.
But like I think it's just like maybe I don't want to say it's social anxiety because I think that's like kind of overused, but I think it is like a slight form of it, where it's just like, I'm worried about, hi, ah, you didn't say hi back, you know, it's like one of those things. I don't know. I always think it's funny, like, walking in to a place, and it's kind of always a gamble. Like, are they going to say hello? Like, the staff. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know. I was taught when you work somewhere, you always say hello. Mm-hmm. Now, I did have a job where I stopped doing that, but because every time I would do it, I would get yelled at by the clients for saying hello. So
yelled at by the clients for saying hello.
This was when I worked with the homeless.
Right. Why would they yell at you for saying hello?
They're like, hi, how are you today? They're like, shut up! And I'd be like, oh, my bad. Sorry. You know? After a while, you're just like, I'm going to stop doing that. And then you get yelled at for not saying hello. It's really a gamble.
If it was because you were working with the homeless, if that was the situation.
I shouldn't say the homeless, because you know, people who are on substances and also homeless.
Troubled individuals.
People
seeking assistance for finding a job.
Yeah.
But they had bigger problems, so the fakeness of "Hi, how are you" would be rather annoying. I could see how that would be.
I totally get it, but I feel like saying hello,
you still have to address them, acknowledge them.
Exactly, is better than not saying anything. But after a while, I literally stopped saying anything. And then one lady got really mad at me because I stopped saying hi to her. She was like, who raised you? And I was like, yeah, you're right.
Don't blame me.
No, not your
I'd like
fault.
to find her.
But,
excuse me? Nope, don't you dare blame me, lady.
You're not going to acknowledge me? And I was like, last time you literally yelled at me. It's always funny at the jobs I worked. I had 3 very different personalities. You know, because I worked the 5 a.m. shift at a gym. And so when people would walk in, I'd be like, hey, ready for your class? Let's get pumped up. Yeah. Did you sign the waiver? Awesome. You know what I mean? And then go to the place where you help troubled individuals. And you're just, like, scared, kind of, a little bit. Where it's like, oh, do you need help? And you're like, okay, sorry.
You know, loud doesn't equal dangerous.
No, but sometimes they're scary.
A lot of times when someone is loud, it's just because they're weak.
Yeah.
They're weaker and they know that they're at a loss
or
not being heard.
You're like, oh, hey, do you need help with something? And they're just like shitting in your seat. And you're like, oh, am I expected to clean that? You know?
You know, you don't have to be destitute to shit your pants. I'm pretty sure there's some billionaires out there doing that.
No,
too.
but no, that's not what I'm saying at all. But in the way where I think they were so sad about where they were, I think they kind of lost respect for themselves and therefore for a facility.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Not everyone. That is not across the board, but...
Or they had a physical problem. That, you know, they actually had a physical ailment that they couldn't tend to because they didn't have health care.
Yeah, also possible. And then the other place I worked at was retail. So I was always like, hi, how's everyone doing today? Oh my God, I love these shoes. Totally buy them. Would you like to sign up for a credit card? Awesome.
Oh, that's the worst. I have friends that work in retail, but every time they tell me about how corporate has their lady parts and a vice grip because they have to get so many credit apps, I'm like, I hate that as a shopper.
For us,
don't ask me if I want a credit card.
We didn't have credit cards. We had memberships, and they were free. But the thing is it was the holiday season and it was like a competition. We know I'm very competitive, but also in the way where it felt frowned upon if you weren't signing people up. And I just because I was new, I didn't really know what would happen if I didn't get enough, because I think after that season they fired people. And I didn't find out why. But what was their gift if you did the best amount of memberships? Like $250, I think.
And how much do they make off of it?
Oh, a shit ton.
And are they still open?
Yeah, Mom, they're one of the biggest corporations in the
So
world.
it wasn't the one that closed. That's what I was thinking. I thought you were talking about the one that closed.
No. Oh, I also got money if I made sales there, but that was fewer and far between because we were an underground gym.
What's an underground gym?
It was just like you had to walk into the building, and then you had to go to like it was like literally underground.
I thought it was going to
like
be something cool, like you had to knock 3 times on the.
No. But oh my gosh! So this was in Boston, and we had like a staircase sort of thing that would like lead to. It was like a emergency exit sort of thing because it was below ground level. I think they had to have one of those because I was the 5 a.m. shift was to walk and to make sure that no one was in that stairwell, and also to look around and make sure there was no one actually in the gym. Because what had happened a few times prior to me being there, I believe, is there was some homeless people who would like shoot up in that stairwell, and we also had some people break in and like steal things because like gym equipment's expensive. So, you can steal some weights and you can make like hundreds of dollars off of them. Yeah, that was always weird. I was like,
And they put you,
dude,
in charge
I was
of
like literally
keeping
18.
security. Where's the security? Why didn't they just hire a security guard?
They did have a security guard.
So why were they asking you to take care of
Because
this?
he started at like 6 and I started at like 5.
Oh, what if something had happened to you? I'd have owned that gym.
Yeah.
I'd have owned them and their lives and their grandkids. I would own everything about them if something happened to you.
But normally what happened, to be honest, was like I would walk in and then the trainer would either already be there, which I was like, when the fuck did you wake up? Or I'm like, you don't have a class till like 6:30, Stacy. Like, what are you doing here? But like, or they would walk in like 10 minutes after me. So I normally was not alone very often. But
very often is the problematic phrase here.
Yeah. No, I don't think
Don't mess with my babies. Don't mess with my babies.
But the problem, see, I wasn't even scared of being in the gym that early. I was scared of having to walk to the gym that early.
Yeah. Well, you had some issues.
Because that's just like a sketchy time of night or morning to be walking by yourself.
Yeah.
To work. Some people are walking home at that time.
Be safe, kids.
And you're walking to work at that time. Just interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand colleges that say you can't have pepper spray, etc., and yet they live in environments where you've got dangerous people jumping out at you and grabbing at you and screaming at you, and
I don't think that. I think they could just smell the fear on me, to be honest. I don't think that was like a common experience.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Same thing with me not saying hello to people. I probably also just give off scaredy vibes.
I wish you guys could see the visual. She literally leaned away. If body language is everything, people, it's everything. I notice that. Lean in. As the chair cracks.
Your mom's a hoe.
Okay. All right. Alrighty then.
I think that's everything for this one.
I think that's about enough of that.
Okay. What? My accent?
Yeah, we're done. We'll send that back to the
Guys,
UK.
that's literally don't say that's the UK. That's so bad. That was just kind of a max up. What the fuck? A mix up of everything. That was just me being weird.
A smash up.
Yeah, exactly. That was a smash mouth.
A smash mouth.
That was a hey now, you're an all-star.
Yeah.
That's
Ruby
what that
tunes.
was.
All right, you guys. If you can tolerate us, come back again for yet another exciting episode of Fossil in the Spawn.
And beware of the Mars until July 1st.
Beware the Ides of Mars. No, the temper's running high right now, and there's a lot of stress and strain. So be good to yourself.
Yarg.
Find peace, people. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.